It is the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Making Miracles Radiothon today. The reason why we do this is for you guys to donate. Donate to the greatest cluster of hospitals in the country, we sure believe. And we're asking you to do that today by making a donation to 866-781-8811 or text the word miracle to become a miracle maker to 64636. Look, we said this earlier this morning also that we'll give you a pass today. I mean, you don't have to listen to all the Bert Show today because I understand as someone that has kids, these are the things, man. These are the places in our mind that we as parents don't like to go. I said this before that once you start to have the thought of your child being sick, I literally shake the thought out of my head. Shake the thought out of my head. But for hundreds and thousands of kids and parents, that is a reality. And unfortunately, this reality is going to happen at either a kid in the studio, a kid in the car, one of your kids, a nephew, family member, neighbor. And if that does happen, let's put some money in the karma bank today by just giving a couple of bucks if you can afford it. Again, it's 866-781-8811. Text the word miracle to 64636.
All right. The first question I want to ask Mickey on, and hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. You are Aubrey's mom. You work at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. You're a nurse there. So were you already working there prior to Aubrey being born?
Yes, I was. I get goosebumps before you even think it's saying that.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been with Children's for about 12 years when Aubrey was born, and about 13 years when she was diagnosed.
So you obviously, working at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, know what miracles they have been able to create over the years and through our radiothon, listening to these stories. And as I'm reading about Aubrey and the fact that she was born at 1 pound, 10 ounces and was in the NICU, how long did you guys spend in the NICU?
She spent about 13 weeks in the NICU. Yeah, she was born at 26 weeks gestation.
Man, that is such a different story. And I think we say this every year than it was 30, 40 years ago.
Mhm.
If a child was born 1 pound, 10 ounces, my kid was born like 3 pounds. That wasn't good at all. The rate of survival there was really super low back in the day. Nowadays, 1 pound, 10 ounces isn't as shocking.
No. And we've had the honor, Troa has let us tour the NICU and seen the facilities, and we see like this incredible technology that keeps these little babies alive. Obviously it's extremely expensive, which is why we're here doing this radiothon today. But I think more importantly, I want to know, what was that day like when you finally got to take her home from the NICU?
Yeah, so when we took her home, it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Being a nurse and being on the other side of things, it still was very scary. I didn't really deal with NICU babies, and then having to take my own home and having three other kids, trying to make sure we give them what they need and also be very attentive to Aubrey. It was a very scary situation, and we definitely had to room in before taking her home just to make sure that we felt comfortable with caring for her at home, even though I was a nurse.
Yeah, as a parent watching your child go through the effects of chemotherapy, um,
Mhm.
you must feel so helpless. I mean, you got such a small little girl there that can't communicate exactly what's going on. Tell us about that experience with your child and having to do that, not as a nurse now, but as a parent.
Yeah, so we initially just took her to the doctor. She was going potty a lot. And we really just thought she had something as simple as a urinary tract infection or something like that. But her pediatrician was absolutely amazing, but was just kind of feeling around on her belly. And he had been taking care of her since the NICU and had lots of doctor's appointment. And he was like, I'm really feeling something that I've not felt before. Um, I think maybe it's some poop. Like, go home, get her cleaned out. There's poop there. She's just backed up. And so we took her home, and he wanted to see us back in a week. And when we went back in a week, he said it's still there. And we had done everything to clean her out. And he was like, it's still something there. So he sent us for ultrasound. And then the next day after the ultrasound, I'm here working and I see our pediatrician's number come across my phone. Of course, I'm thinking, he's just going to tell me everything is fine. And the first words out of his mouth were, are you at work? And I said, yeah, I'm here. He said, I need you to go sit down. And I immediately, my stomach, it was just a knot. So I went to sit down and he said there was something found on her ultrasound. And I was just lost of words. And he's like, hello, are you still there? And I'm like, yes, I'm here. And he said, I need you to get her to Children's immediately. And I, asked him, I was like, what did they find? He said, there's a mass there. And he gave me, the numbers of what it was measuring. He said, it's something on her liver. And I immediately just broke down. I broke down, and there were some nurses that was around me that was able to support me during that. And I had to call my husband, who was on the way to just take her to daycare, that we needed to get here. He needed to get here as soon as possible. And it was just a scary situation, even, being able to talk to him, and him being in the car and having to drive here and think. And I couldn't think. I was at work, but just knowing the family atmosphere here at Children's, they were very supportive and just walked me and talked me through the whole situation until he was able to get here, and I was able to put my eyes on her. And in the emergency room, they drew some labs, and they were able to come in and said that they had a strong speculation that it was cancer, and it was what they what we know now is hepatoblastoma, which is a rare form of childhood liver cancer, or pediatric liver cancer.
Did you, since you were a nurse already at Children's, it's routine, the compassion and the kindness that comes out of you all, it just radiates out of you. But how did the staff help you cope with what was going on? Was it any different? And
I feel like it was what I've known and grown to know. It was just family. It's a very family oriented atmosphere and culture. And I felt like I was with family. I felt they wrapped their arms around us and walked that whole journey with us as children here. Like, I feel like you feel that no matter your position, but it was just more, I seen it. It was the meals. It was making sure that during treatment, that even at home, that I was able to, they were supporting my family at home by making sure they had meals. And it was what I've known, and it didn't feel any different. It was just what they're used to doing. And it's so many support systems in place throughout Children's that help you not only in the hospital, but help you on more of a personal level. And I was grateful to have that.
A phone number again, 866-781-8811, or you could text the word miracle to 64636.
I'm curious, with you being a mom and a nurse and being on both sides of the process when it comes to CHOA, if you had to narrow it down to one thing, what is your absolute favorite thing about what CHOA does?
I think it's family. That is one word I use pretty frequently, but it's family. If you're a part of children, you're family. And they're going to make sure that you're taken care of. They make sure that you're taken care of. And I feel like that's every aspect of life, and not just health, but financially, spiritually, culturally. It's like you're a part of them. You're just an extension of them. And I feel that every patient feels that family.
So, Aubrey gets this diagnosis, you get this diagnosis. I mean, she's only 2 years old. Obviously with a mass, they immediately do surgery. And then she had 18 weeks of chemotherapy?
Yes, she did 6 rounds of chemotherapy for about 18 weeks. We had some complications, and was able to had to push some of her treatments back because of some of her complications, but it was a long, tough road. And during that, her treatment path included 4 different chemo drugs.
So what Mickey is telling you guys is you want to be around family. When you're not feeling good, your kids aren't feeling good, you want to be around family. Now, it's not by blood, but that's the kind of care that you get at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So you can help out today, 866-781-8811, or become a miracle maker, miracle to 64636.
How is that sweet 6-year-old doing now?
She is amazing. And I am so thankful for Children's. I don't feel like we would be in the same situation if it wasn't for Children. So we are very thankful. She's in the kindergarten now. She's starting basketball. She has lost all of her front teeth and look forward to the tooth fairy. I feel like the tooth fairy is coming every day now. But she is doing absolutely amazing. She doesn't really have any complications from her treatment. Only thing is she wears hearing aids because one of the chemotherapies did cause her to have some hearing loss. But other than that, you wouldn't know she has been through anything.
Awesome.
Is she allowed to stay up late enough to watch Dancing with the Stars and cheer on JoJo Siwa with me?
Oh, she is. She is. And sometimes we have to record it.
She's doing so well. It's one of my favorite too. I see she loves JoJo.
Yeah, she does.
Help out with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta this morning. Again, that phone number, 866-781-8811, or become a miracle maker. It'll make you feel good every single month. Text miracle to 64636. This is the CHOA Making Miracles Radiothon.
The Bert Show.